What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today I have a pretty creative family portrait edit I wanted to run through. As you can see here, this is the final image. This was created using cell phone shots, so it's nothing crazy in terms of photography here. It's a bit of Photoshop work that we're going to go through. You can see here's the original images that I used. Like I said, these images were captured using a cell phone, taking into account a couple of things like lighting and framing and, distance from camera, stuff like that. Nothing crazy. And so this is what we're going to hope to put together. First step would be setting up the file. Obviously, I have one set up here already. All I did here was want a wider aspect ratio than it is tall, so that I would have a wide image like that. Created a solid black background, and we're gonna cut these images out and place them on here and make the edits we need to make. So let's see, typically I would start out with letting Photoshop cut this. It actually usually does a pretty good job, so whenever I can, I want Photoshop to help out. So you can see it didn't do a great job here, but get rid of that. Add this in. This is using the quick selection tool. Alright, that looks pretty good. Select a mask. Oh, I got some extra stuff we didn't need there. That's alright. Oops. I want to be friendly. Okay. Okay, erasing that. And there's a little bit of stuff to clean up here. Might as well just take care of it now. What that is. And again, we're only going to use probably the top portion of the head, so that looks good to me. Output to the mask. And we've got our first subject cut out. Alright, so for the sake of time, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of these out and continue after. Alright, here we go. So now we've got all of the images cut out, and that's all I did. Cut them out, brought them over onto this canvas, and arranged them how I wanted to. You can see I just, then I did some additional masking after, just to get rid of the extra stuff we don't need. Alright, so next step's going to be to make these all black and white, and probably I'm going to do those adjustments separately. So for each layer, I'll add a black and white adjustment. I'll clip it to that layer, and that way I can play with these different levels here and kind of get some different effects. Okay. Again. Alright. One more. Let's clip this. Clip this. Okay, one more. Alright. Now, Scrappy here, little dog here on the end, looks like he's a little hard to see, so I'm gonna see if I can't remedy that a little bit. Alright, something like that. Now, other thing I wanted to do was add a little bit of glow on the edge here of each face. I think I'm going to try to do inner glow, use inner glow to do that, if I can get it to work how I want. Alright. Yeah, something like that. What else I'm gonna say? Come on. Alright, layer mask hides effects, that way we're not getting the inner glow happening on the backside here where I have it masked off, because that's not what I want. I only want it on this front edge. Alright, maybe something like that. Okay, and I'm just going to duplicate that now to the other layers. And then I have to also say on those to let the layer mask hide the effect. And maybe I'll come in here and make some adjustments to these two. Just to size and stuff. Okay. And a lot of this is just going to be messing around with these sliders until you get something that you like. Which is pretty much Photoshop in a nutshell, right? Last one here. Some adjustments. Oops. Don't need that or that. Alright. Something like that. Okay, good. Alright, well, after all that, I would probably do a final level adjustment here to the overall image, just so I can get this bit better dialed in according to the histogram. And this is what is going to make it print well later. So just trying to get a little bit better balance between white and black. Making sure white is actually white. Okay. think that's pretty close now. I would maybe mess around with the brightness, curves on some of these might produce a more dramatic image here. And that's just a typical S curve. Just adds a bit of contrast, bumps it all up a little bit. Nothing major, just kind of subtle, but it gives it that extra little bit. Oh, and I do know the final adjustment I want to make is going to be the eyes. I'm going to brighten the eyes just a bit. So, one more curve here. Actually, his is going to go backwards since he's a dark colored dog. Bend the curve the other way. And yeah, that looks good. Okay. So the one final one would be, I would probably use curves again. Just bump brightness. Just a bit. And then we'll mask that out and come back here and just paint it in over the eyes. A lower opacity so we can build it up. With a soft brush. And make sure you got white here. Alright, something like that. Excellent. Alright, well, I think that's done. So there you have it. That's the entire rundown. Photoshop 2025. I would say this was probably more of an intermediate to advanced tutorial. I didn't go super far into depth on these tools and how to use them. There's plenty of videos out there on YouTube if that's what you're looking for. I'm just trying to dive into the fun stuff, right? So, there you have it. Thanks for following along, guys.